إخواننا يقولون أنهم ليسوا حتى بشر. يتنفسون الماء ويغيرون شكلهم. يستطيعون الرؤية في الظلام ويراقبون دائما. كما لو أنهم ظلالا بدون أي شيء ليوقفهم.
All right, so we've caught up with Goodrich here outside of the huge Medal of Honor Warfighter stand. First of all, what are people getting to experience inside here?
So today they're playing multiplayer. This is the first unveiling, worldwide unveiling of Warfighter multiplayer. You know, 12 different Tier 1 units from 10 different nations. We've got 6 of those units on the floor here today. So they're waiting in line, getting inside, getting a little briefing video, going through those different classes, those 6 different classes. You know, getting into that mindset, and then we spill out onto the floor and go to it.
So that's something that's got to be very exciting for you as a studio, because the last game it was DICE who were responsible for the multiplayer, but now you get to do that yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, we are running on Frostbite 2. It's a DICE engine, but yeah, we are one studio, one team, one clear creative vision, one game, many parts, and clearly, you know, we got a lot to prove with multiplayer, and we love what we're doing. We got a lot of new, fresh DNA, new developers in the house, and yeah, we're just having a blast, and you know, putting our spin on multiplayer and showing global Tier 1.
So, if I understand you correctly, you're showing off 6 different sort of tiers here in 6 classes, and you call them classes. Does that mean that they're all different gameplay in them, or do they have similarities, or how is that? Well,
the 6 different classes are very different. You know, demolitions is much different than a sniper versus a light assault, or point man versus a heavy assault, or what have you, or the heavy gunner. So yeah, they all play differently. They all have different stances. They all have different you know, support actions and the weapon systems that they carry, and they all fulfill a different role. And you know, we're also showing fire teams. Fire teams is something that we've come up with that basically focuses on a cooperative multiplayer experience, and it's very authentic to the special operations community in the sense that, you know, that battle buddy or that swim buddy in the SEAL teams, that, you know, you rely on that individual. And so what we do in Medal of Honor multiplayer and Warfighter multiplayer is that you have that battle buddy, a fire team buddy. And if you stay within a proximity of that individual and you work alongside them, you know, you'll be able to replenish ammo. You know, you'll be able to see your fire team buddy where he's at. If you go down, you know, instead of respawning all the way back, you know, where you'd normally respawn, if your battle buddy, your fire team buddy, stays out of combat, you spawn right on his 6, right there. You know, get back into the fight much quicker. And so we have revenge, you know, kills that if your battle buddy goes down, and then you get a revenge kill right away, you respawn immediately. So there's a lot of really cool things we're doing with fire teams and cooperative multiplayer.
What does the different special forces or different nations' special forces add to the experience?
It adds national pride. You know, for a long time, the Medal of Honor franchise focused on the American soldier, and we knew when we rebooted it, we wanted to pay tribute to other forces around the world. Honor, respect, brotherhood, those are not American-owned traits. Those are warrior traits. So we took a page out of the FIFA playbook and came up with global warfighters to give gamers a chance to experience national pride in a first-person shooter. You know, wave that flag, play for the home team, you know, suit up, and you know, become one of the best in global competition.
You know, I'm Swedish, and yeah, we have a team in there. But as soon as you add, I think everyone accepts that, oh, it's just an American game, there's just American SEALs and everything like that. But as soon as you add more, people say, but how about the Danish special forces? Right. Or how about those? So how did you pick these 12, and sort of what were the criteria for it?
We didn't pick them. So what we did is, you know, we work with consultants. We have over 24 special operations personnel, Tier 1 operators that we're working with on a daily basis now, actually. They come into the studio, they interact with the developers and the teams, and we sat down with them in the beginning, and we said, who should we include? You know, who have you fought with? Who do you respect on the battlefield? you know, we just work with them to try to get that global feel and coming up with those units and guys that they've spilled blood with and fought with overseas. And you know, the first 12 were very easy to pick, and then there were some that were right on that borderline. But you know, it's a good method for us to be able to continue in the future to add more and to continue to pay tribute to those forces around the world. But absolutely, you're right. You know, there's always somebody that's left out and wants to be included. And give us time, you know, support the game, we'll get there.
So apart from just, you know, different uniforms, what kind of other things, flavors are you bringing to sort of make sure that these feel like different units?
Yeah, and so we're not talking about that specifically yet, but we've got some things in store that will make a Polish Grom operator feel like a Polish Grom operator versus, you know, the same class in a different unit. And so, you know, beyond the weapon systems, the gear, the kit, the camouflage, the flag that they're wearing on their mechanics gloves or whatever flag they're using to capture a control point or what have you in sector control. There's some other things we're working on. It's more to come, a lot more to come.
So what's it been like to see players queue up and play the game here and hear their reactions here?
Oh, it's great. It's great. You know, ever since the E3 EA press conference, you know, it was a big reaction. You know, I think people always expect us to deliver on a single player experience with Medal of Honor, because historically that's what it's been. But I think people are generally surprised at what we've come up with for multiplayer, and people are just really stoked and excited. They're coming in, they're getting back in again, going through it again and again and again, and they're just loving it, absolutely loving it. So, you know, we've been holed up in a studio for the last, year and a half, and you know, it's great to finally come out and let gamers sit down and play it and get in those boots and get online and become one of the best of the best.
So do you plan on sort of opening it up to players before the release for some kind of beta perhaps?
Not talking about that yet, but you would expect any you know, product of this nature to do something of that manner, sure. But like I said, we're not talking about it yet. We don't know exactly what it will be. I actually, tell you the truth, I don't know what it will be yet. Those are decisions that are made by other folks. We're just focusing on delivering a great experience, a great shooter, a slick shooter with tight controls and great second-to-second gameplay, and we'll let the marketing guys figure out what they want to do as far as demos or betas or what have you. I don't know. So.
Right. Sounds like a very long no comment there.
Very long, non-committal no, yes, maybe so. I don't know. Who knows? It'll change. If I told you what it would change tomorrow anyways. So
that's always the case.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for your time, Greg.
Yeah, thank you very much.